he is attracted to her because she is a virgin, because now I really like it. I don't really like the romance. Kind of excited, but I'm also kind of scared. Very much not what I expected. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Vivian, and in today's video you guys know what this is. I'm doing another 24-hour readathon, and I'll be doing the timer method, which is the only method I do. Why am I doing this? Because I recently read an amazing book. I recently read Binding 13 and Keeping 13. I have a whole reading vlog dedicated to those two books. I'll link it somewhere in the video or in the cards. Those two books literally ruined my life. I'm now in a book hangover and I don't know what to pick up. And usually I get motivated to pick a book up if I'm filming a video, which is why I'm doing it. I'm filming a reading vlog so that I can pick some books up and so that I can get through my November TBR and also my physical TBR. With that being said, I have two books that I am planning on reading in this video. Obviously we're going to add more books as we go, but right now in my head what I want to read are these two books. Well, I don't want to read them, but I know I have to. First one is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. Why do I want to read this book? Because it's a part of a series. This is the second book of the Lancaster Prep series, and I am 12 pages into the book. So I did start the book and I never continued because I read this right after I finished reading Keeping 13, and no book can compare to that. But I do know I have to get through the series, and they are pretty easy to read. I remember reading things I wanted to say but never did, and that one I got through really quick. So I'm thinking of picking this one up just as an easy, simple, no-brainer type of read. And then I have a fantasy book I want to get into. We are talking about Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I want to get into this book because I'm actually halfway through the book, page 178, chapter 17, and I don't want to end up forgetting what I read about the book, which is why I want to pick it up as soon as possible. I read the 178 pages I think in the month of September, so it's been 2 months. I know I need to get into this pretty soon. I'm a little bit intimidated. I did like what I read, which is why I don't know why I'm not continuing with the read. Anyway, I'm gonna try my best to get through these two books. Things might change. I haven't read any book in 2 days because of Binding 13. The only book I want to read is Saving 6, which is the next book in the Boys of Tommen series. I have committed to myself that I will be annotating the whole Boys of Tommen series. I didn't annotate Binding and Keeping 13 because I didn't know how much I would love that book, but I want to annotate Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, and I want the physical copies to annotate. And I also will be purchasing the US version that's coming out I think next year, and that one is really pretty. They have like rainbow spines. I think I am getting that too, so I just want to wait for my physical copies to come in. We're still gonna try to get through these. I am going to be reading this one first. Hopefully this one will be the one that's gonna break my book hangover. So yeah, I'll be reading. I'll let you guys know if I have any updates, and that is it for this intro. Let's get to reading A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. Soon, but I thought I would give a quick update on this. I am at page 296. This is chapter 30, so I'm more than halfway through the book. I only have read 3 hours. I'm at 20 hours and 57 minutes left. So far, thoughts about this book. At first it was a little bit hard to get into, maybe because once again I was in a book hangover. It got a little better, and I can understand where people have issues with the book, but at the same time I feel like it wasn't the intention. And also I read things I wanted to say which was absolutely deranged. That one I felt like the guy, the main character, had issues, but Crew compared to Wit is 10 is a lot better. Yes, Ren is a virgin and they kind of mention it a few times and that she has a purity ring and stuff. Her mindset and her judgments are not that nice. So I actually do like the insight that Crew gives her, and that's why I am kind of enjoying the book. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of enjoying the book. Obviously, I'll need to see later on what's gonna happen. There are a few things in this book that I get cringed out about, but it's not that big of a deal. Once again, I do think it won't be like 4 stars and above because of some of the things that are said in this book, but overall, story plot-wise, no-brainer book. It really is not bad of a book. Today is a Saturday, so I most likely won't be able to give many updates. But yeah, that is it for the update. I will see you guys later. And I didn't film anything this morning, but I did finish A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I finished this yesterday night and my timer is now on 18 hours and 30 minutes. This is what we're working with. Anyway, I did finish reading this book and we have a few thoughts about the book. I feel like Crew Lancaster is definitely not as insane as Wit Lancaster. And the thing is, a lot of people talk about this book and say that it is just disgusting in a way where they focus a lot on the fact that Ren is a virgin and that she has a purity ring and that she is promised to be forever virgin until she gets married. And that's the whole point of the story, that Crew wants to take that purity away. He is attracted to her because she is a virgin. And I feel like that is what happened in the beginning of the book. But as the story moved forward and he started to get to know her because of something in class, they ended up getting to know each other more on a deeper level. And then Crew started really liking her as a person and wanting to be with her and wanting her like girlfriend sort of way. And that's when the story starts getting better. First half of the book, it was a little bit invasive. I do agree, and I understand where people come from when they say they don't like this book, but in my opinion, I had fun because Crew Lancaster was honestly, literally obsessed with Ren and in love with her and would do anything for her, wants to make her happy. I do like him and I do like his character and I do like what he did for her because she struggles a lot with her dad and her mom, and I really liked the role that Crew played in her family, but I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. It probably won't be over 4 stars, to be honest. That is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. Now I'm gonna pick up another book. It is actually 5 in the evening. I had work to do, so I was focused on doing that, and then now I feel like I have time to read and I'm gonna pick up Warbreaker. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit forgetful, so I don't really exactly remember what happened in the first part of Warbreaker. But yeah, we're gonna get to reading this. I'm pretty sure if I continue on, I will probably have some recollection of the story, but right now I'm a little bit confused. You guys don't know what this book is about. By the way, it's a standalone. I think it's one of his standalones, and I think it's the one that you should get into, at least on his site. He says that if you're a romance reader, you should get into Warbreaker first because it's a standalone and it's a fantasy romance book, I think. It's about this thing called breath, and if you have breath, see the world in vivid colors. If you have more breath, the more vivid it gets, and if you have more breath, the stronger it gets. You can get breath from people, but they have to give it to you willingly, and if you have 5 breaths in you, you cannot give only 4 away. You have to give all 5 away. It follows a lot of characters, a fugitive, 2 princesses, all of that. It's interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna get to reading this. I'm actually running out of space in my memory card right now, so we're gonna get into this and then I'm gonna change my memory card and then I'll tell you how it goes. Hopefully it's gonna be an enjoyable read. Very quick because I didn't give an update today. Apparently I forgot, completely forgot. I'm at page 389. My timer is on 15 hours and 29 minutes. I see that. I was very busy today. I had a lot of work to do because I do have a job outside of this, and I have to finish working on that. And then I had to edit a lot of videos. I had to film a lot of TikToks. I did have a few thoughts on this book while I was reading it, but I didn't have time to give an update. I wrote in here, plot starting to pick up. We have clear ideas of what is going on, the roles all the characters play, and the good and the bad guys. I love Light Song and Siri so much, but everyone is so interesting and so different, so that was fun. I also like the little reveals of the plot. The world building is amazing. And if you guys haven't read this book, you won't know who Light Song and Siri is, but I do enjoy their characters. I really like Light Song, to be precise. Things are finally picking up, which I'm very excited and happy about, because this is what is great about fantasy books. When it's starting to get exciting, it gets really exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna take my time to read a bit more. I'm gonna read up until like 11ish, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I am tired. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Quick update before I leave, because I am going to bring my dog out on a walk. But it is currently 10 a.m. I am at 13 hours and 32 minutes left, and I have read a lot of Warbreaker. I'm now at page 534. So I'm almost done with the book, and I am really liking this so far. I love the character growth. I love getting to know all the characters so far, and I like that the world building, you kind of learn it as you go, and I'm still learning it up until now, and I just really like that because it adds just some sort of mystery to the plot, and it's really interesting. I don't know why I wasn't in love with this book, because now I really like it. I just love the characters, and I really like the growth that they have, and the relationships they're building are really cute, really sweet. I am in love. Really fun, just lots of character development that I absolutely enjoy. Those are my thoughts. I am going to go now, and then I will let you guys know when I'm actually done with the book. I am done with Warbreaker. My timer is on 12 hours and 20 minutes. I finally finished it, and you guys have no idea how happy I am that I'm done with a Brandon Sanderson book. First of all, ending was epic. I feel like the whole story, especially the last 100 pages, was epic. Fast-paced, things were happening, and you just get to see so much unfold. Really like that it is a standalone. You don't really drag out a lot of the things that happen here. Everything is explained very well. No plot holes. I love the background that they give about the magic and that the world they live in. The plot twist was amazing. I didn't see that coming. It was so good. And yeah, I had a very good time with Warbreaker. I don't know yet what I'm gonna rate this. It's obviously going to be above 4 stars, but I don't really know what yet. Now I need to pick up another book because we still have 12 hours. It is currently 3 p.m. I still have time to read, so we're gonna pick up another book. I don't really know what to pick up though. I think I'm gonna pick this up. This is in my November TBR. It's A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. It's gonna be an easy rom-com read. I don't know how I'll feel about the book though, but at least I can get this done and also complete my November TBR. I'm gonna read this, and then hopefully I'll have fun with the book, I guess. Update on A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. My timer is on 10 hours and 1 minute, and right now I am almost halfway through the book. First of all, I didn't expect this. I thought this book was a YA romance book. Apparently it's adult. There's some spice in this, so that was a surprise for me. I did not expect that. Second of all, there are some comedic factors to the writing, but I have to be honest, I don't really like the romance between the two characters. You guys don't know the premise of this book. She accidentally summoned the demon, which is him. I'm almost halfway through the book, and we are only 3 days into her summoning the demon, and some physical altercation has happened between the two of them. And I feel like for somebody who summoned a demon who doesn't want the demon to be there, they gave into their physical attraction pretty quick. Chemistry between the two of them feels a little bit off. Like, I did not expect that to happen so quickly. I am gonna continue reading this and I'm probably gonna get this done tonight. I still have a few hours before I need to go to sleep, so I think I can get this done. I want to talk about A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I finished reading this book. I now have 8 hours and 7 minutes left on my timer. First like 50 pages to 100 pages were perfectly fine, but the moment the romance started, I just felt like it was really off. This is not slow burn in the slightest. There also isn't enemies to lovers in this book. I do not feel any enemies at all, because the moment the guy comes in, the demon comes in, she's already head over heels in love with him, and there's no tension, no pining, no push and pull, nothing. They went from 0 to 100 real quick. It just doesn't feel like a very good romance book because I don't feel the romance. I don't feel the chemistry. It just feels very physical. The spice scenes are very cringy, you guys. I don't usually skip spice scenes, okay? I don't usually skip those parts of the book. I know some people skip them, but I don't usually do that. And in this book, I had to skip because it was kind of cringy. The subplot of the magic and how she is supposed to send him back, and because she summoned a demon, the demon is supposed to get a bargain. He can only go back if she gives her soul to him, but she doesn't want to sell her soul to him, so he's stuck to her. And it's just, that plot was very predictable. There's also a plot about her town getting reconstructed, and there's this part of the town that's very magical. It's a forest, and that part was also extremely predictable. So nothing was pushing me to finish this book except for the fact that I wanted to get this done as soon as possible. I didn't enjoy the characters. I didn't enjoy them as individuals. I really didn't like Mariel as a character. She was just easily influenced by everyone around her friends, her family, even the male main character. Whatever they say influences her character and the way she acts around them. And I just feel like that's very pushover personality, and I didn't like that. I am very certain that I'm going to be rating this 1.5. I'm only giving this 1.5 because the beginning portion of the book was great, and also the plot of her standing up for herself, finally standing up for herself after 300 pages. I felt like that was kind of a redeeming quality of her. Now, I am excited to get into my next book, and since we have 8 hours left on the clock, I feel like I cannot squeeze in 2 books in those 8 hours, so I'm picking out a book that I feel like I can finish in 8 hours. I made a TikTok on annotating this book already. I am committed to actually reading the book. Reading this will be a total feat for me, and that book is Babel by R. Now, I've put this book off for a very long time. I've also had this on my physical TBR for almost a year now. It's a genre that I've never read before, and it's dark academia. It's fantasy. There's barely any romance in it. It's about translating and translation and language, and there's historical fiction in this. And so it's a very new genre of book that I've never read before, which is why it's very intimidating. But I do want to give this a go. I posted my end of year TBR, and I mentioned that this book I really want to get into for the year ends, and a lot of people have basically convinced me to get to reading this book, which is why I'm picking it up. According to the blurb at the back, I'm just gonna read it because I don't really know what this book is about. Oxford, 1836. The city of dreaming spires is the center of all knowledge and progress in the world, and at its heart is Babel, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, the tower from which all the power of the empire flows. Orphaned in Canton and brought to England by a mysterious guardian, Robin Swift thought Babel a paradise until it became a prison. But can a student stand against an empire? I feel like it'll be something like Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, where what you expect is not what you get. I also want to read this very slowly. I've heard that the writing is a little bit difficult to get into. I want to read it slowly. I want to make sure that I understand the book. So yeah, I am going to be reading Babel. Also, if you guys want to know what my tabs are, I have 4 tabs. I looked at TikToks of people annotating Babel, and I might or might not add tabs as we go depending on how I feel about the book. But I have quotes, language/translation, racism/sexism. I think I'm gonna add colonialism
Colonialism.
Colonialism. I think I might add that alongside this tab if it comes to that point. And the last one is character development slash important scenes. Most of the ones that I see of people annotating this, they roughly have these tabs, and I just want to be ready if I end up tabbing them. I'm kind of excited, but I'm also kind of scared. So let's get into reading. I also read the little author's note about this book and how it's historical fiction and it's not nonfiction. It's a very, very loose representation of historical England and Oxford. And Babel does not exist in history. So yeah, I literally just filmed myself like 15 minutes ago, but I wanted to talk about Babel real quick because I did read the first chapter, and also timer wise I'm at 7 hours and 46 minutes. I am done with the first chapter. This is page 19, chapter 2, and I already have annotations, you guys. Very interesting. I did not realize that the main character is Chinese, well technically Cantonese, but I didn't realize that there was going to be translation or words that is Chinese in here. And so this was very interesting for somebody who speaks fluent Chinese. This is very fun. It's one portion of the book, this one here, page 9, where there is an idiom that says hu luan tun zao. Literal meaning is to eat a date whole, but in here the idiom is to accept without thinking. Something happened with this idiom, but that's the interesting part, and I just really have a lot of fun putting my thoughts in this book and annotating it. I'm gonna go to bed now because it is currently 12 a.m. but I am now very, very interested to get to reading this and actually getting into Babel. I'm gonna have so much fun, you guys. So that is it for this update. I will see you guys in the morning. Give an update on Babel. I am now at a section called book 2, and then this is chapter 5, page 93, as I remember. Yep, my timer is on 6 hours and 9 minutes. I find myself reading this extremely slow because I want to consume it in a slow-paced manner and not rush through the reading process. Obviously also because there's a lot of historical elements about this book, as well as lots of literature about translation and language. I just want to read this slow and make sure that I understand the book and not rush myself. So that's why I'm taking a longer time, and also annotating the book. So that's why I'm also taking a very long time. I didn't realize how much I'm going to annotate this book. I think I have a little grasp of what is supposed to be happening with the book. And I also feel like the things that have happened are very much not what I expected. I didn't realize that I was going to enjoy this book as much, but I really did. I even had thoughts after finishing the first portion of book 1, and I put them on a post-it note over here. And overall, just having a very, very positive reading experience with Babel. I don't think I will get my 6 hours done today, and I also don't think I will actually finish this book in this readathon. I will try my best, but I don't think I will. I am going to continue reading, and also right now it's 2:30 p.m. so I don't know if I'm gonna get my 6 hours done, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna continue reading this right now, and then I'll update you guys a bit more once I have more read. It's been a few hours, and I want to give another update. My timer is on 3 hours and 28 minutes, and I have now read book 2 of Babel. So I think the last update I was in book 1, which is page 90. Now I'm entering book 3. This is page 223. Yeah, 223. I read 130-ish pages since I last updated you guys, and I also did add a post-it for when the second book ended, and then now it's book 3. I think this is a smart way to kind of keep my thoughts a little bit more concise. So I am going to be doing this for every single part of the book. These are my annotations so far. I have a lot. I am surprised by how much I'm annotating this book. That also proves that I am actually enjoying my read. So with the second part of the book, you get a lot more dark academia vibe. The main character, Robin, he's finally in Babel. There's a lot of insight on colonialism and imperialism in this book, and I find it very fascinating. I didn't realize that the historical part of this book is actually not very fiction. The colonialism situation did happen in the 1800s. It's really interesting to see how the fiction fantasy aspect plays a role into the history of Oxford and English in general. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm seeing a lot of character development when it comes to Robin. I am seeing a lot of mystery plots coming into play. There's a lot of talk of politics and economics also in this book. But I find the language and the translation part of the book really interesting. As somebody who speaks native Chinese Mandarin, a lot of the things here just interest me a lot because I do speak 3 languages fluently, and sometimes the words get jumbled up in my head. I'm hoping to spend my last few hours before I go to sleep just reading and hoping that I can get through to book 4. That's my goal for today. I'm going to go now. I am going to read a little bit more, and I'll update you guys tomorrow morning with hopes that I do read a lot today. I'm going out to go golfing, so I changed my outfit. But I want to quickly end this vlog because we are done with this 24-hour readathon. I don't think I can come back from what I just read just now. So in total, I read 4 books, and I did not finish the last book, but I'm almost there. The first one I read is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. This one I decided to rate a 3 stars. Mainly because I did enjoy this story a lot more than the first one, but I can understand where some parts of this book are uncomfortable to get through, which is why I decided to rate this a 3 stars. And then I read Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This is one of his standalone books, and it's a high fantasy type of story, and I decided to rate this book 4 stars. I did have a pretty hard time getting into this. First few 100 pages were very difficult to get through. I really enjoyed the ending and how the plot went on. The pacing was great, the world building amazing, so I'm giving it 4 stars. And then I read Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. I didn't enjoy this book. I'm reading this 1.5. Didn't like the characters and individuals, didn't like how they got together. The romance felt forced, the spice was cringy. 1.5. And the last book I read is Babel. I'm not done with this book yet. The timer stopped when I'm at chapter 24. I can't believe the timer stopped during that point. It's as if they know that I want to take a break from this book because that was freaking heavy. As you guys can see from my annotations, I'm having a blast reading this book. My tabs are running out, so I just recently purchased some more since I ran out of the same colors. I won't be continuing my read right now because I'm waiting for the tabs to come into the mail. I am running out of this one and the one down here, and I only have like 3 left for the red color one, and I just refilled this gray colored one. This one I had another set of, but the rest I don't have. I don't know how to explain how this book makes me feel. I feel illiterate right now, but this book was just mind-blowing and it threw me by surprise. I get shivers reading this book and I enjoy a lot of the lecture-y things in this book. I don't know why. I also enjoy learning about the history during this time of 1836 Oxford, as well as colonialism and the idea that racism and sexism is still huge in this part of the world during this period of time. I just feel like I am learning a lot of things with this book. Great book, amazing, kind of life-changing, to be honest. So many character growth, character development, so many things about the main character Robin that I feel like makes a lot of sense, but also the way he thinks and the way he acts is just very realistic in that period of time, and I can understand where he comes from and his confusion. It is spectacularly written and I really enjoy this book. And that is it for this 24-hour readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot to me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!